Heartworm disease affects 1 out of 100 dogs in the United States every year, but it's preventable. We're going to cover everything you need to know to protect your dog from heartworm disease. To start, heartworm disease is spread by mosquitoes and it causes heart and lung damage. Having your dog on a flea and tick preventative will not protect them from heartworm disease. Similarly, having an indoor or mostly indoor dog won't prevent them from heartworm disease either, because mosquitoes, of course, can come into our homes. Now, you should have your dog's blood tested once a year to make sure that they are heartworm negative. Doing a fecal test to rule out a GI parasite, things like roundworm, hookworm, whipworm, is also recommended, but a fecal will not diagnose heartworm disease. It is only found in the bloodstream. To understand more, when an infected mosquito bites your dog, the larvae in that mosquito's bite will travel through their under the skin tissue, subcutaneous tissues, into the bloodstream. Ultimately, the larvae will then migrate into the large vessels in the pulmonary vessels in the lungs around the heart, and they'll mature there. Adult worms can be 6 to 12 inches long, and they can live 5 to 7 years in a dog's body. Now, during that time, as they're maturing, as they're becoming, part of your dog's new anatomy, hanging out in these vessels, they're causing severe inflammation, and that inflammation will eventually lead to scarring. Those vessels will no longer be able to dilate as well as they should. Clots are a higher risk in these patients, and that damage is irreversible. This is why you want to catch the disease and treat the disease early. Now, treatment will not fully reverse any of that damage, but if your dog does have heartworm disease, it's best to catch it early and follow the American Heartworm Societies treatment protocol, which involves strict rest. Minimizing your dog's activity will prevent the more serious damage of blood clots, and you'll need to start an antibiotic followed by 3 injections at a veterinary hospital. The average cost of this treatment is typically at least $1,000, can easily be much more if there are any complications for your pet and they have a more severe disease burden. It costs less to prevent this disease than to treat it. But the cost is not, of course, the only concern. That damage to your dog is a much bigger deal. In summary, heartworm disease is a terrible thing, but it can be prevented. And knowing the way that it's transmitted, knowing the ways to protect your dog are key to keep them healthy and living a long life.